No word of a lie, guys. I am a woman obsessed with her kitchen. I never, ever, ever thought this would be possible. I never thought I'd see today happen. The kitchen is always the last place I go to decorate. I forget about it, I ignore it. In fact, I bought a screen recently so that I could cover it up while I do my Keep Fit in the studio. Suddenly now I'm really kitchen proud, and I haven't even launched the cooking channel yet. But it takes so much work because the kitchen has, for filming this is, I mean, if you have a country cottage kitchen, I remember a friend of mine told me once that she wanted that, that wooden kind of shabby chic look because you can have breadcrumbs in it and it's absolutely fine. Well, I've gone monochrome, black and white, and the breadcrumbs are going to infuriate me. I've become quite OCD already. But I think it's just going to look so nice on cam, guys. Just going to look really clean and really easy. I mean, I have bought today. Well, let me tell you what I've been buying. I mean, right, first of all, my brother has been and he's put together the screen. This screen I bought, it's 5 panels and it's stretched. It's actually polyester, but it's very see-through-ish. So it looks like, that kind of rice paper feel. Do you know what I mean? And the whole thing has a really oriental slant to it. It's also really tall. And that's what I wanted. So 5 tall panels with this really stretched polyester, which is semi-transparent. It looks bloody glorious. Honestly, it looks really expensive. I mean, I'm not going to lie, it was really hard for me to put together, and that's why I had to ask my brother. Sometimes you just need the weight of a man, 6-foot man, to weigh down on the screws as you're screwing them, and they go in more, easier, basically. I mean, I just couldn't, I'd do a couple of turns and that was it. I couldn't get the screw heads further down. I couldn't get the screws, the whole thing was just, wasn't working. But he did bring a different Phillips screwdriver that wasn't a cheap one. Mine was really cheap. I bought it from Poundland and it just kept slipping out. So it's started to go a little bit. But, I'm not making an excuse. I'm just bad at that stuff. And it wasn't a quick job, It took him quite a while. In fact, it took him so long, I went off and I had to go and buy tea bags anyway, but I went off to buy my knives. I needed a set of knives. I mean, I don't have knives in the house ordinarily for reasons of safety. I don't like them. They scare me. I've been around knife crime and I don't ever want to be around it again. They're just such upsetting things, are they not? But the thing is, when you're a cook, a chef, as I am, she said, I mean, I feel like a chef. It's the weirdest thing, guys. I feel like a chef and I can't cook. I'm in my own little delusional bubble. I've got this kitchen and I feel cheffish. So, God, I'm batty as a fruitcake today. Anyway, I went to Asda and I got a set of knives with the stand. The stand is black and chrome. So I'm going to mix my metals. I don't mind mixing gold and silver. It's just going to be done for the foreseeable, And I mean, there are things that are chrome. The microwave is chrome. The sink is chrome. I'm not going to suddenly change everything to gold. That's Romeo jumping over the mic. Apologies. Hello, darling. We love you. So I got the knife set, which is really good. I haven't played with them yet because I don't have a piece of veg, I don't have an onion in the house. I do have some sweet potatoes. So I thought I'm going to break myself in gently and I'm going to do maybe not film, maybe do stills for my first recipe because I've seen that that's really easy. So you just click on, you put stuff and you do a talk over the top of it and you can write things over the top of it, which I'm bound to be able to do on my Vimeo. There's bound to be something on there. And seeing as this is the sort of pilot, the introduction, I thought, well, no, I can get away with stills and I can make a little trailer for my first recipe. So yeah, really excited about doing that at least. So tonight I will there will be vegetables, and I'll maybe chop some, and maybe do a bit of footage. I don't know. I'm too excited. I'm delirious with excitement for this project, honestly. So I bought silicone moulds in a charity shop. They were £1 each. I wasn't sure what to buy, so I bought chocolate-shaped hearts. When I say chocolates, I mean like a box of chocolates. And I want to try and make heart-shaped flapjack bites. That's what I want to do. That's my plan. I've no idea how to go about it just yet, but it will involve, obviously, oats, which I do have in the cupboard. But I believe I need some dates and some... I don't want them to be sweet, you see, because that's bad for us. So, but I'll need something to bind. I'm going to try with just dates and see if I can get away with that. I'm not sure that I can. So probably peanut butter. I mean, the recipes online are all maple syrup and this. Well, I don't eat anything like that. Sugar-free. That's me. Sugar-free. You can control lots of ailments, like diabetes. I think it's type 2, isn't it? And reflux and all of these things by just going on a no-sugar diet. There's plenty of sugar in fruit, natural sugars. But even those, you shouldn't really be going too mental over those. So I'm just going to see. I'm going to play around. I'm going to be very experimental with my recipes. But the other thing I thought was, mashed sweet potato in, heart shapes. How cute would that be? If you do them quite firm, perhaps mix them with some cream. Would you dare? I'm not sure I'd dare. But if you were doing something for a special occasion, I imagine cream's got protein in it. It must have. It's made of milk. So anyway, all of these things, these questions I'm now starting to ask, and I'm thinking, I'm so into this in a massive way. So I've managed to find a few little black things that I can put food on. Bit of a nightmare, shows everything, but then so does a white plate. So, you've always got to do loads of wiping before you do your filming. So it's generally a bit of a pain in the proverbial. So found a white tablecloth. That looks much better. Now I just need to iron it because it's all creased up. And that's cotton, darlings. Three amazing tea towels. I don't normally use them, but because I'm doing a cooking show, I want to do that thing where you toss it over your shoulder when you've wiped the plate. I've watched these programmes. I know what the procedure is. I know what they do. And then just shove it in the wash and bang, bang, it's dry the next day. Do you see what I mean? So I bought a set of 3 from Poundland. They were £3, not £1. And what else did I buy from Poundland? Oh, a fantastic chopping board. I mean, I don't know how it's going to stand up to my extremely sharp knives I've just bought. But it was a £5, and all the chopping boards that I looked at yesterday online, I was looking at, 30, 40, 50, 60, 250 quid for a chopping board. I mean, don't get me wrong, they were nice. Very lovely chopping boards, huge, thick slabs of oak, But that can come later. For the moment, we're going sort of cheap. So yeah, it's all coming together. And I've got some ideas about recipes. And carob, I need to go now. I'll go and see if I can find it. Cocoa powder and carob and all of these things, which are really good for mental health. And I can mix with my, my flapjacks, my heart-shaped flapjacks. I also bought a rabbit mould. No idea why. It's big, it's a cake mould. And I thought, well, I don't make cakes. I don't do cake. But maybe there's something I can do. I mean, jelly. I believe jelly's quite good for us. So perhaps I'll go and, I remember I did economic science as a youth, as a schoolgal. Went to this all-girls school. We did domestic science because obviously we were destined to be married. I mean, you'd think I was born in the 60s, but you'd think, that this was the 60s, but it wasn't. It was the 70s. We were still in the thick of sexism in the 70s, let me tell you. So there was no expectation to be clever, only to cook well and to provide your husband with his required needs whilst he went out to work, and preferably an officer. And, that was the last sort of domestic environment that I've been in properly. Yes, I've had husbands, and yes, they've expected dinner, but they got it begrudgingly. I'd sort of throw the plate down. And actually, they were, because I had to feed the kids, they got fed too. Do you know what I mean? Bloody hate cooking. But maybe now I love it. Maybe having my own show is going to change all that. I really think, it's sparked my appetite a little. But my appetite for really healthy food. And don't forget, I'm fully intending to live till I'm 120. So this is, all of the food that I'm going to do is to that end. Although when I have guests on, of course, they may be getting me to do, I don't know, ice cream or Knickerbocker glories with lashings of cream and phalluses. Who knows? Who knows what they'll be turning up with. So what else did I get? I think that was it, pretty much. I also bought some sticky black plastic to see if I could do anything with that. I'm just about to go and order some sticky things so I can hang the art. It's going to be a lot of art, and a lot of sort of gothicness. I've ordered cutlery with half of it's gold, stainless steel gold, and half of it's matte black. I've ordered some fake fruit and vegetables just to have in the background somewhere. I've ordered a thing of garlic. Just crazy. This is all on AliExpress. Now, you've got to be careful because some of the fruit they say mini, or they don't say mini, and then you go and look at the size, and they're, 5 millimetres or something ridiculous. Well, no, I don't think there's anything that small, but, an inch for a peach. Well, that's not going to be very good, is it? I mean, yeah, if you're setting something up and you want a slice of cake to look absolutely huge next to a bowl of fruit, you could do that. But I could just ask my AI to do that. I don't need to go to all the trouble of getting fake fruit. But I have ordered an apple and a pear and some grapes. I thought, no, that's nice, just to have around. I mean, a chef like myself in sort of, black attire really does need to have grapes lying around for obvious reasons. So I've bought grapes. And also, what else? I can't remember now. I think that's it. I was looking at Helmut Newton art, and then I thought, do I want Helmut Newton's art as a feminist? Probably not. I mean, and also they don't have copyright or anything, and I'm pretty sure his stuff isn't in the public domain. So they've obviously stolen the designs, and they're like a tenner. And I thought, cheeky, because all the other stuff is £2.50, and then suddenly, because it's Helmut Newton, it's £10, and you're paying that for a bootleg. That annoys me about bootlegs. They should really keep them cheap if it's a bootleg. Do you know what I mean? Please. Can't pretend it's anything like the real thing. I mean, I haven't got a problem with bootlegs, even when people bootleg my stuff. I mean, I say I don't have. Of course I do have, but, it's not the end of the world. It's all advertising after all. Anyway, how exciting. So, yeah, I'm going to do some photos in a bit. I'm going to take it easy for a little while because I've doubled up on my cycling today because I've been out twice and I'm aching all over, and I had to walk. Because I carried a giant clock. I've just realised my brother's gone off without undoing the screws for me. Oh dear. I'll do some photos in a bit, right? And I'll put them on my blog and I'll pop them on my Twitter so you can see how I'm getting on, because it's just too thrilling, really. The whole thing's too thrilling. iServalan.com, obviously, at Telltale Club, at Snob Value or Marchioness of Dorchester over on Twitter. Yeah. How exciting today is turning out. For the next 5 minutes, I'm going to be on the electric blanket, though, because it is bloody freezing in the UK today.